Right, this is part 3 in my series on how to create a CD cover. I did the last video. Let's have a look for the CD. I thought that would be it. I sent the proofs off to Darren, and where are we? So there were the proofs. Yeah. So these. So in the last video, I saved them all as PDF files. Here they all are. However, I just noticed something. This here is like all whited out. Doesn't really matter because it's beyond the part that will be cropped. You know what? I've only just realised I never actually. Here's a tip: is a mistake that I made. Always review the files that you saved before sending them off, because I've just realised, not that it really matters that much, I don't think. But the tray card's okay. I'm just thinking, on these ones, I saved them as a PDF 2018, and I haven't deselected the trim marks because I've already got trim marks on, and it's put another set of trim marks on, which probably would not be confusing, but could be confusing initially to someone who's in charge of the printing. So when I resave the files, I'll make sure they are not on. Anyway, the reason why there's a third part to this, why is my voice all croaky, is that he's now chosen a printers because he didn't have a printers chosen before. So I had to use some old CD templates I had from previous CDs. And now he's found a printer, they've sent him another lot of CDs. Now let me go in the Adobe Illustrator designs. You know what, every time I see the letters AI for Adobe Illustrator, it reminds me of artificial intelligence. Anyway, so here he sent me some more files called new templates, and I was just looking at these files, and even though they should be the right dimensions, they're very simple. So anyway, even though there should be the right dimensions, because the dimensions of a CD dual case design does not change, I did notice one thing, and this was the CD print. And there's a note down here saying, please note, this template has been created using specific coordinates required for computer to play imaging and is not to be altered, moved, or the document size changed. And that suggests to me that this print company that is chosen are very particular about the kind of files that they receive. They may have some custom color profiles as well. So I've decided to import my designs onto these new templates. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open these in Adobe Illustrator, because an unknown image construct was encountered. What the heck? Oh, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do first, just to speed things up. What the heck? I'm just going to close all these down a second. I'm just going to open a new Finder window. This is something I do on my my Mac quite a lot. I have dual Finder windows open for the very reason that this Mac it's a solid state drive, but it's only 250 gig. So I often, when I've done a project, I'll move it off the actual hard drive of the computer and move it onto an external drive. Or, I mean, I've got like a hard drive here, an old drive called iTunes drive now, a 2 terabyte archives one, and I've got a 256 gigabyte card. So 256 are the same size as my hard drive, but this is just on a card. And sometimes I forget to actually move it off the card and onto the hard drive to speed things up. So I will just move this onto, where should I put it? I'll just move it into AK Design. So this DAS CD, I'm going to move it, not copy it, So that's like 2.32 gigabytes, so should only take about 10 seconds at the most to transfer over. As usual, I'm doing a video late at night. It's like 20 to 1, so I'm trying not to speak too loud. I don't want to wake my family up. Right, so now it's over. I'm going to do what I just did. New templates. I'm going to drag these into Adobe Illustrator. Still showing this same error massage. Right then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these. Let's check their vectors out. Give me a second. It's gonna. That's one thing I don't like. I like the window to line up with the window, the edges of my window. What the heck? Something slowing my Mac down. Don't know what it is. Okay. So I like, the edges to end up there. I don't know why they've moved as well. So I've got a profile set up. Anyway. I like to put rulers on as well. Okay, here we go. I'm just thinking. Yeah, that's what I thought. These are not vector files. These are just images put into a. They're images put into Illustrator, but these themselves are not actually vectors. You can tell they're not because, well, for starters, you can see how pixelated. You can see the pixels. Secondly, press Command Y, and there's no vectors there except for the word spine. The only vectors in here is the word spine. So I was thinking these would be like ultra professional template setup, but actually they don't even have layout guides. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to save as. I'm going to keep this in the new templates thing, but I'm going to save these as Adobe Illustrator files. So here we have Illustrator 2020. Command O to put it in screen. And I assume I've got the same here. No vectors at all there. No guides either. Save as. New template. Now, dear me. I'm just thinking this is a booklet, so I'm also going to have to indicate and rename all the files so the printing company knows which page is which, because they don't seem to have separate templates for the fact that it's 4 separate prints with 2 separate pages folded. And some companies will even account for that because some of the pages will be different and the actual alignment will be a couple of millimeters here and there. The ones that wrap around the outside, they'll put the guides slightly differently to account for the bend, and they haven't done that, so it's not actually as professional as I thought it would be. Let's see if this is vectors. No. The reason why I like to have templates in vectors is that I can snap my guidelines really accurately. These, it's like I'm gonna have to put the guideline if I'm using guides. I have to zoom in on the pixels. It's not as accurate. Anywho, save as. New templates. It's a DVD or CD. Right. Well, I suppose they are the same size. Right. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of taking right. On this CD design, yes, I can do that. I will take the original PDF and overlay it. However, on the other designs, if I go and, in fact, I'll explain that as I'm going along. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'll do what I did last time. I'll have, in fact, I'll use both windows. I will I'm going to open up, so I'm going to have this bottom window for PSDs, the second window above for Adobe Illustrator files, and I'll go to the CD first, and I'm going to double click the CD. I'll ignore that because I never actually... Oh, I did. Oh, I was saying I'll go ignore that because I replaced the PSD file with colour, and actually I don't think I did. Not that it really matters. As in, the base blue colour, I thought I replaced the PSD blue with just blue because there's no need to use a PSD there. But I might have just left it in place. But for this one, you know, I might actually go and actually open this PDF, because if this blue background is in fact a PSD file which has been rendered as a JPEG, then there's no loss in compression because there's nothing there but blue. Let me see. Now, because this is a PDF, it's going to have all this stuff saved around it. I'm just going to go around. Oh, crap. It's going to go around, delete stuff off, try not to get that mask. Anyway, that's a final. Yeah, I thought. Yeah. It just chop things up when you save things as a PDF and go back into it. I'm wondering, you know, I would rather use the original just to be on the safe side. So I'm going to go and actually go into the CD card. The only trouble is now, that because I've taken this, oh dear, I haven't made this easy for myself at all. Right then, I did remove this from my external card to my hard drive to speed things up, but it's going to break the links, and I thought about that. So I'm going to move this back onto the card so the links are still intact. I'll have a drink. Throat is croquet. Like my daughter's beaded my office, and I've just got like a double dip Swizzlers thing on my desk. Cherry flavour lip balm. Look at me. Does smell like cherry. Well, it's uncut for a reason. You'll get to sit here for 20 seconds and watch something move across. Okay, here we go. So, now I'll go there. DAS CD, AI designs on top, PSD designs on bottom. Now I'm going to have to go back in here. I have to close these down and then reopen them from the other side. AI, new templates. That's weird. I thought I saved that as the AI. I haven't. I saved it as a EPS, which is encapsulated PostScript file. I don't want that. That's so it'll open in any vector file, pretty much. I just need to resave that as an AI file. Let's go back here. I'm just going to move to bin. Right, I'm just going to open that file back up. Right, now I'm going to get the CD file, the original Adobe Illustrator version of the file. So now you see that I've moved that back off my card, back to my hard drive. The link, which is your art, which is a PSD file, is now still intact. I'm going to take off all this stuff around that I don't need. I'm going to flatten the artwork, press yes, and then I'm going to select this artwork, copy it, and in a new layer, I'm just going to call this artwork. And then I'm going to, you see, this is another reason why I would prefer vectors over image files. I was just about to drag this artwork file underneath this so I could see my artwork underneath the lines, but I can't do that now because it's a rasterized file. A right pain in the neck. Really, really bad. So you see, if I drag this now underneath here, oh, I can see it. Ah, not as bad as I thought. Rant over. It is a raster file, but they've saved it as a transparent PNG. I was about to go for a real rant there, saying that's stupid that they saved it to a raster file because now I can't see my file underneath, which I can look. If you see. Oh crap! I've moved something independently by accident. Yeah. Anyway, they saved it as a transparent PNG, so not as a JPEG. I thought they stuck a JPEG there. Rant over. Sorry, printing company, whoever you are. Anyway. Back to work. Copy. Right, so I want to try and center this now on here. So the way I'm going to do that is... What the heck? Why is that moving independently? I just grouped it together. Right. Get rid of that. Select all. I just grouped it. I thought I grouped it so that nothing moves independently. Yeah, so now I must not have grouped it properly. Okay. I'm going to drag that back underneath. Right, and now I'm going to try and center it on here. So I was about to say the way I would do that is I want the center of this X in the center of that blue thing. So what I want to do is I'm going to go onto this template and I'm going to see if I can see that's not bringing the center up. Well, I think I'll use these to center it. So I'm going to zoom in on their lines. This is why I'm so unamused. Where are my rulers? There. It's because, you know, where do I put this line? I want something to be central, and this line is like, you know, it's pixelated. This is why I'd like templates in vectors like the other ones are. Anyway, I mean, you do get something like, I assume it's like in between. So there, so you can see the intersection in the middle. So now I want to intersect this red X with this blue. And where the heck has that gone? What the heck? See, Illustrator is buggy sometimes. Look at that. I'm just zoomed in, and my X just disappears. Even in the future, nothing works. Right, which X is it now? Oh dear me! What the? Appears to me if I zoom in too much, it goes crazy, which is stupid. This is Adobe. It's supposed to be the top editing software in the world, but yeah, it can't handle a bit of zoomage, if that's even a real word. No, I'm going to put that there, then I'm going to manually stick that in the centre. Right, that'll do, donkey, that'll do. Right, so here you see now that is actually centred as it should be. Booyah! I'll take those guides off. I'm pretty satisfied with everything else. So now I've done that, I'm going to drag this above there. So by dragging that above there, I still have these registration marks which they appear to want on, even though my my mask makes black. I'll tell you what this template does like. Vectors. Anyway. Right, so that's the AI file. And now going to go to Save As, and I'm just debating myself whether or not to overwrite the original file, because I still do have. Now, I just want to the original files. Where are the new templates? I just want to create, what the heck, a new rig. So original templates. I just want to copy these first before I overwrite them, just in case something goes wrong. There we go. Go back into Adobe Illustrator. I've got my original templates there. So this is CD booklet template. I'm going to save it as an Adobe PDF file. I'm going to replace that. I'm going to go to 2018, but this time, in the compression there as high as I want it. I'm going to take off the printer's marks because this file already includes them. A mistake I made last time. Anyway, let's have a look, see how this works out. So, a new template type things. There we go. So I'm going to highlight that in red to show that I've done it. 661 KB. Looks alright, but I'm just thinking now. I don't think that I outlined the text. No, I did not. The real or fake has not been outlined. Create outlines. I don't want to make that mistake. Just going to save that again. So let's save the PDF again. That's the original. So I'm wondering if, because the original files are so all over the place, whether or not just keep those and just resupply this CD. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I need to have a look at. Let's have a look at this one then. I've had no. I thought I might change things because of the colour profiles, but it doesn't appear that they've. Let's have a look, colour settings. Yeah, they're just set to Europe general purpose free, which is pretty much general. I think I use it a lot. I think I use that quite a lot. It's just a general colour profile. If you're doing general work, colour profiles, you don't need to mess around with too much. I used to be really into them, and the more I faffed around with them, the more things went wrong. And I think if any kind of print work's getting sent in somewhere in Europe, which this one is, this is getting sent to a printers near here in England somewhere. Europe general purpose free seems to be okay. And America, I think there's I can't remember what it's called, it's like a USA blah 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 profile that comes as default. It's generally okay for most work. I'm just thinking, let me just. So what I'm thinking now is, do I need to put my other work into here? I'm thinking, is it worth doing it? And the colour profile seems to be the same. Let me see, tray card. So look at finals, tray card. How have I got these set up? I think, the measurements are exactly the same. I think, even with these outer crop marks, I think they should be okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to open this in Illustrator. See, I think the warning's coming because they're quite old PDFs. Let me go to new templates. Let me go to I've saved that as the wrong thing, haven't I? Yep. I've saved that as TV, as booklet when it should be. Let's put an X on the end. Just going to copy that. And then put an X there so it doesn't say you got a duplicate one. See, that's why I got original ones now in the title of it. Actually save that as the wrong title. So there we go. That's a DVD thing. So what do I need now? What the heck? Why is that booklet template like that? Oh dear me. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Stick that in there. Right then. So it's very late. Very easily confused when I've been designing like 12 hours today. Anyway. No. I'm just thinking, this template, the bleed goes right to the edge of the document. I think I'm going to have to. It appears they've got on their end. They've got some kind of their own system for aligning things, and they just want it in there. Okay. Let me see then. This is page 2 and 7. I can't have that because the files have already been compressed as JPEGs. So don't save. So what I need to do is this. In fact, I don't need the PSD files anymore. I'll go to booklets. I'll open pages 2 and 7. What I need to do is this. I need to turn off all that, anything that's not of the image. I then need to flatten artwork. And then, yeah, that's paths anyway, but I'll just, yeah, it's all paths anyway. I'm just going to group that, copy that. I'm just going to paste that in. Hopefully it's the right size. It is actually. Mine is slightly off. I think that's the reason why. It's because the I think I was saying last time is that the outer guides were like really thick lines, so you have to sort of get it in place. I'm just going to have to, I think, just eyeball this a bit. I think that'll be alright. So this is pages 2 and 7. So I'm just going to save as. I want this as a Illustrator file. I'm just going to call this 2.7 for now. New folder, let's put booklets. 2.7 AI. In fact, no need to. I think I might actually, rather than doing 4 separate files, put them all in here. Actually, that'd be a lot better, a lot easier. Yeah, I'll do that. So, next one, pages 6.3. I'm just going to get rid of this, that, registration, And get rid of this piece of random purple. I'm going to make sure they're all outlines. I'm going to group all that. And then I'm going to just close it down, don't save it. When you do these kind of things, make sure you don't save them. Why's that gone over there? Don't like it when things get misaligned. You know, I can hear some kind of mosquito buzzing around my office. It's doing my head in. Right. I forgot what I'm doing now. Right. What page is 6.3? I think so. 6.3. Then I was going to align that. Looks to be okay. Maybe it's just help if I turn that one off actually. There we go. Let's save that. So we'll close it down, press don't save. Back in here. Pages 4.5. Same thing again. Registration. Flatten artwork. Select all. I'm just going to make sure that yeah, there's no path to do. Group all that lot. Ooh, what's that weird thing there? Top. Don't want that. Let's put that white box. What will cause in the text we covered it before. Copy. What's this called? 4.5. Layer 4.5 for pages 4.5. Slight swatch conflict. I'm not too concerned about that. It's probably when I've used like two slightly different greens and stuff. It's not that important for this particular design. It's okay, I think. Ooh, move slightly up. Let me just yeah, if I do that, and then just want that central. That's alright. Save that. When I'm going to save something, just Command S. I do that quite a lot. I've always found Illustrator to be buggy with that many crashes in the past where things haven't been saved. Always make sure that I do that frequently. Anyway, pages 8.1. So this is the outer booklet. Go in here, new, 8.1, back in there, template tags left, internal use, registration, flatten artwork, get rid of hidden layers, yes, select it all, group it all, make sure there's no outlines to do, go in here, paste it into that layer, turn the previous layer off so I can align it properly. That looks sort of really okay. See this outer bit, when I save the file I'll chop it off anyway. Right, save that file. So I'm going to close that file. Don't save. I'll close everything. Because in booklet, I'm going to rename this pages so it contains them all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these pages files and save them as the pages. So I'm just going to flatten this artwork, press yes. No, not, wait a second. Just want to turn that off first, just in case something, it won't pop through, you know. Right, flatten that artwork, save as, in booklet, Adobe PDF. I want it 2018, but I want to take that marks and bleed thing off. I didn't save that. I forgot to save it as a... Okay. Pages 8.1. Right, and then in Illustrator this is now PDF, but I'm just going to press Ctrl Z to come out of that to go to the next page. And the reason why I'm flattening it is because I don't want these extra layers to somehow contribute to any kind of file bloat. Sometimes it can do that depending on what format you save things as. This is going to be pages 4.5 PDF on custom, so it's on the same thing as before. If I go to marks and bleed, look, it's off because I'm saving from the save PDF. That's a good thing about doing this, it keeps settings in as well. Okay, then undo, turn that off, pages 6.3, flatten artwork, yes, discard the thing, save as, pages 6.3, PDF, custom, yep, undo, pages 2.7, flatten artwork, yes, save as, pages 2.7, right, turn that off. So now, in booklet, put a yellow dot on it to denote that that's the encompassing file for them all. Right, so these are now the 1.7, 1.3 megabytes each. I thought originally I did that, but I thought, is this white line on the file around? It's not, it's just, I think it's just the way it's doing it, showing it. What the heck? How have I done that? Page 4.5 PDF.pdf, what the heck? You know, I'm way too tired to doing this. I've got two files the same. So 8.1, that's fine. 2.7 has got twins on. Yep. 6.3. What the heck? No, I've got the same file twice. How did I do that? I don't know. See, that should be 6.3. I don't know how I did that wrong. Although if you've watched this video, you might have been screaming out, "Oh, you've done something wrong." Earlier on. Right, flatten artwork. Yeah, because I even deleted that before. 6.3. flatten that. Save as. Saving. Save as. Pages 6.3 PDF. Of course, that's a different file. I'll need to redo the settings for it. Max and bleeds. No. Right then. Page 6.3. So they're all different. Got a space before that, so it goes to the no, it's not going to. No, I put a space in, it goes to the top, but I think on this new profile I've got my sort by settings differently here. Did it name? There you go, name, bit of space, and it goes to the top. Right, so they're done for the booklet. So I've done the booklet, I've done the CD. What am I doing now? New templates. Oh yeah, that's what I was in. So I'm just going to mark off with a red dot the ones that are done. So that's done. That's done. So I'm going to say I'm going to duplicate. No. So AI is going to denote that with yellow for a second. Right, this inlay one then. I'm going to put both the inside and the outside in here and make sure they line up perfectly. So I'm going to go back there and go to the tray card. I'm going to do the inside first. Oh, foot. I'm going to turn off his template, tags, registration marks, all that malarkey. Flatten artwork, press OK. I'm going to go, I'm going to group it, copy it, go here, oops, and paste it. Now is that transparent like the CD? Nope, this one's not transparent. It'd be really good, you know. The rant is back on. If they save this, I know it's not a vector, as a transparent PNG like the CD, and these white sections could be like transparent, these blue sections could be semi-transparent, so I could see if this here will line up. Have they done that? No. Although, fortunately, because mine is vector, here look, I can see where my elements show up. So at least that's something. Okay. I'll have to sort of roughly line it up like before. What I'm going to do is I'll put it over the top of that one. Now you see, mine here is coming up ever so slightly short. This is the reason why I did it. Why is that? Not that it's absolutely critical. It's only a small gap. Let's put it there a second. I'll put that right over the line to make sure that everything prints the way it should. Computer's going to melt down because of Capto. The longer Capto records this, the more crazy it gets. Okay. Inside. Save as. Oh no, sorry, it's already AI, isn't it? Yeah. I thought I was just editing the PDF. So inside, outer, the tray card. I'm just going to get the outer section now. Turn off template tags, that and that. No. Yeah. Flatten the artwork. Let's get rid of these little extra things that's on the outside. Select all that. problematic. I'm unaware that that is actually white on the outside. That, when I put it into this new template, because it's not vectors, that white is going to cover up the vectors. Although, what I could do is, so I could go into Photoshop and redo the file, or I could create a layer mask. In fact, I might do the mask before I actually put it in. So this layer mask, I'm just going to make it like orange until I know what's going on with it all. Just slightly overlay it there. Although I don't know where the top of the file is now. Well, there it is. Make sure it slightly overlays that blue. Oh no. Well, I suppose I don't know where the edge of the file is. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll just put it to here for now. I always forget which way is which with layer masks. I don't know if I select this one first. I don't know. I'll select this white box first, and then the file, and I'll go to opacity mask. That's what I meant. Opacity mask. I don't know if that opacity mask actually transfers over. Anyway, we'll see. Which file's this? No, it's the wrong one. Outer, yep. But saying some of the swatches I've used, I've changed them slightly, but because the spot colours or something, I mean process colours, they've gone crazy. Right then. Oh, so I wasn't aware that I did. Is that a layer mask causing? I'm trying to think of this. If this is the fact that I've stopped that white box, or is it a layer mask? I think it's the layer mask. I'll turn that off a second. I need to adjust the layer mask and put that right to the edge. And on this side, put that right to the edge. Although I don't want to misalign the. This is critical in this bit, not to misalign the actual spine texts. So I've got that there. That's why I'm not dragging them right to the edge on this one. That there, right then. Then what I need to do is I'm going to unlink this opacity mask. Yeah, that's it. And I'm going to put it just above there. I'm going to relink it. So that covers up this outer white edge, so I can see these elements underneath because they're not vectors. And I'll keep ranting about it, but it's done my head in. Okay. I want to totally cover up actually. These pink bits because I'm not liking them at all. All except for the very edge. To keep things. You know what? I think it was okay before. I thought I saw that pink edge, but now I've gone down to it. It's not actually that much. It just looks more on here. What I might actually do for this one actually is just whip a white box around it, send it to the back to cover that those pink bits up. So that's outer. It's going to save that. Right. So I'll close these other files down. Don't save. Don't save. Got this one. I'm just going to flatten this artwork. Save as. So this time I want tray card. Inlay. Outer. The PDF. On 2018. I'll turn the marks and bleeds off because it's already got them. I'm going to undo that, and then I go to the inside. I'm going to flatten artwork again. I'll turn that back on. I'll go to Save As, and this time I'm going to put inner baby, or just inner. The settings now will already be saved because it's strictly speaking the same PDF file. Then I'm going to close it, Command W. Right then, so in here, in the finals, I've got tray card. Yep. I've got the booklet. I've got pages 6-3. That's something really concerning. I'm not sure, why is there a white line appearing on the outside? It might just be the way it's previewing, but I want to double check this. Because there should not be at all. If you look on my design. Oh, that's why. Really, really thin strip around the edge. It's like, probably like 1/10 of a millimetre. Nothing. It's well within the bleed. It's nothing to worry about. It's just showing up more for some reason on the preview in Mac. It's like it seems to be exacerbating it, as it were. I just want to check these booklet images to the original ones, just to make sure I ain't caught things up. So that is page 2-7, has got twins there, yeah. 4-5 does have Darren there. Yeah. 6-3 does have Daz and Alistair. Yeah. And obviously pages 8 and 1. Yeah, so I'm satisfied with those. The CD, I'm going to create a folder for it, just so everything's unified. CD, print, oh yeah, put a red dot on it to allegedly make it easier for me to spot it. Anyway, CD print. I think that's okay. So in booklet's going to take that out. So I'm going to get a CD print, tray card, booklet. I'll take that red dot off there now. Then I'm going to no. I'm going to compress R3, but I want to put the printer's note inside. New file. Undiscovered print files. I just want to stick these in there. And my other one, I had a printer's note, and I'll stick that back in as well. These are the old set of proofs. So the printer's note. Just say contact me. My email. Right then. akelselldesign@gmail. So one final thing that I want to do, open them as PDFs. I'll just give them a quick one. So I did until recently. It stopped working. I had an older version of Adobe PDF, and I used to go and look at the file separations for them all. But since I'm not using any Pantone colours and no spot colours, there's not really that much point. I used to do if this was a case where I was using black text over a coloured background, I would go and view the separations in Adobe PDF, although I have to find some other software now because I deleted it, just to make sure that the knockouts and the kinds of blacks are going to print really nice and crisp and clear. It's something that I'll probably get into in another video if I do a CD design again like that. But at the moment I've got no overprinting black on coloured overprinting black on coloured backgrounds. Dear me, that's a tongue twister. So I'll just make sure that, while I've been doing this, I haven't nudged a vector out of place or anything like that. That seems okay. I'll just check the tray card. I have recommended to my brother that he gets proofs as well. Nothing seems to be out of place there. I just noticed on this particular one that these lines are appearing. They're not lines in the print, it's just the way that's previewing. I don't know why on this particular one it's doing that. I just noticed that. Why is it doing that? It's probably just the way that it's rendering. The lines are actually there, but it's still concerning. I can't think of it. I think I've had this problem before. It does concern me, but I remember being on the phone to the printers once about it. And so they're saying, don't worry, it won't print. It's just the way it's previewed because it's a PDF 2018. But and it won't print out. But it is concerning me now that I look at them. How long is this video? Yeah. So it means nothing's showing up on print. It's one of those things that it's a bit. It's the way it renders with pixels on screen when it's sort of like split the image up into separate blocks where it meets a vector on top. Just like this one. No vector images included, so it's perfect. So I'll put these bookups. You see, there's no black square. There's no squares on here, but there's less vectors overlaying the actual graphics. I don't really think it's a problem. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not a problem. And if it was, it would come from on their proofs. However, yeah, so that all looks fine. What I want to do is, just to make sure, which one was it now? It was on the... What the heck is that? Oh, my AI file with the inlays on, because that's the PDF. Did I not save that? I don't think I did. Crap. That's why I should always save stuff. Why don't I have a... an Adobe Illustrator version of this? I just want to be doubly sure. I'm just going to save this as AI version. accidentally it takes over my screen. Anyway. I need to go to, I'm getting confused, my tray card, and it is the outer. Need to turn that off, that, and then need to flatten the artwork. Just want to delete this, that, and that. I'll select it all, make sure there's no. Oh dear me! Oh, that's why. That's why it's gone crazy. I used an opacity mask on top. It may have interfered with the PDF. In fact, I'm just going to close this file down a second. I'll open that file again. Oh no. Nope. This artwork, I need to go back into the PSD version. No, we're going to go this route to start off with as well, and I decided to put an opacity mask on, and it's gone crazy. I need to turn off this white layer in the background. Wait a minute. I can't just turn it off. See, is Alice's head there? It returns to the normal colour. That's because I've used some kind of luminosity thing going on. So all these problems caused by the fact that these templates are not vectors. No, I can't remember. Let's see. Right, here's what I need to do. I need to keep that white on. I do have a layer mask, but everything lies outside the layer mask for some strange reason. Let me just get these, drag them inside artwork. I want to duplicate that layer. I want to keep that one on. But I want to drag this under there, turn that off. No, then turn that on. Right then. So here, I've actually got a layer mask for the outer edges of the CD there, look. For some reason I haven't used it. I must have dragged them out by accident at some point. So now the white is contained within the layer mask, and the white is cut off. Alistair's head looks a lot better, even though it is slightly. I just noticed that. I need to correct that with a bit of blue. Where's that blue? Well, I'll just colour up it. So throughout this, I've noticed a slight mistake. Not that it would have shown up particularly too much on the actual final printed version, but you know, I do like things to be right. What the heck? 47%? No, 100%. Oh crap! There. Nope. That brush is still too big. On my Mac, for some strange reason, the brush, even though I turn edges on, you can never see it. Look, it's just a hair trigger without showing the edges of it. It's always been like that when I talk Mac about. That's okay. So his head is done. It's been vitalized, if that's even a word. Save it. Close it down. Now when I go back into Illustrator, it'll say update missing content, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to turn that off, that off, that off. Go here, turn that off, and then going to flatten the artwork. Oops. and then going to flatten the artwork. Crap, what have I done? Undo, undo. I haven't deleted anything else about now. Oh, it's 20 to 2. Flatten artwork. Yes. Delete that. Delete this. Delete the other. We're not deleting the background. Here we go. I'm then going to select it all. I'm going to group it all. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paste it without using a layer mask. How would you like them apples? Now the white does only come to there. Wait a minute. Not that it really matters because I'm going to put a white box behind. But what the? Why is that just? Let's make that bigger. Oh no. Okay, that's not right. This template does seem to be like a millimetre or so out on each side, so I'm pretty much glad that I did. Oh no, wait a minute. I want to put a new layer. I'm pretty much glad that I actually did do all this because the templates are slightly different. And whilst doing them all, I've come across a couple of very small but very real mistakes. Oh, where the ruler's gone? I'll make sure my text does line up inside the things. So when printed, that will be slightly from the edge. Yeah. Really bad templates. So I can't actually see the spine. Why is that? Oh dear me. Yeah, it appears as if that does need to go to the other side there. If you look, I want my text bang in the centre of those blue lines. So I think it does need to go to there. Now it looks like it's slightly too far over. I want it bang centre. Now it appears that's slightly removed. I want it there. So then I want this like that, and then I want to get a white box and I'll cover that bit which should have been done in Photoshop. Why has that got a black background? I'll send that to the back. I think that's okay. Just going to close that down, don't save it, well, remember. I'm now going to go to Save As, New Templates, Tray Card. This is the outer PDF. Replace. I'll try it again as a 2018 one because I don't think that's a problem. I think the problem was the opacity mask that I put on the file. Let me go now. Let me see. Okay, tray card. So that's the new. Oh no, what's going on? New templates. Let's go to print files. We'll call this final. Undiscovered print files. Booklets. No. Tray card. Outer. After all that, it was not, indeed, the opacity mask causing this issue. What I think it is the way that these vectors are overlaying the graphic in the background. And even though these won't print, to put it in a very Yorkshire way, it is doing my head in. I would rather not have these lines. I think it's the PDF 2018 and this particular combination of vectors. If you look, the squares end where the vectors end. Look, there's a white line going there, a white line coming down there, white line from the top of there, from the top of there. I think it's very much to do with where the vectors are. I'm going to go back into Adobe Illustrator and I'm going to go and save as. Why has it done that? In the card. New templates. Final files. Tray card. How to. Sorry, I've fallen asleep. Replace it. I think I'm going to go with a normal PDFX 2001, except I'm going to embed the page thumbnails, optimize for fast web view, and they're not on. That's set to maximum and maximum. And I think with 20 years of being a designer, I think that will solve the problem. If not, I'm going to look stupid. No, that's what 20 years of being a designer gets you. Nowhere. See, if this wasn't unraw and uncut, I could keep trying to find a solution for an hour and end, edit it out, and say, this is what 20 years of being a designer gets you. Look, booyah, solved, haha. But no, even 20 years of being a designer, you don't solve all the problems out straight away. It must be the way then that the fact that I have got. It must be the way it's rendering and flattening the PSD file in the file rather than it having a TIFF file embedded. Oh. So as a last resort, and if this doesn't work, I'm sending it for squares on, even though I know they won't print. But, I need to go to PSD designs. I need to go to in, out, shake it all about. I need to go to this. See, that's another curiosity. I don't get this. I don't get why it's happening. This white here does indeed go to the top. Remember on the file it showed you, the white stopped round right here. The white does go all the way to the top. So, I'm not going to save it as a TIFF because I want this transparency on the edge. I'm going to export this as a PNG 24 to keep the transparency. No. Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to export that. So there's my PNG. What is it? See, it's not the white off from the outside. I'll go back here. I'm going to I'm getting tired. Oh dear me. Open this up again. Oh, that's a file I've got open. Falling asleep. Well, honestly, AI, tray card, there we go. Outer. And this art outer, I'm going to replace it. I'm going to place that transparent PNG there, if I can find it. What the heck? Why is it placing it so large? I'll turn that off. Right. I think this thing that I do with PSDs and just render it with a PSD directly does usually work. There's something causing it to break this time round. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Right, so I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to flatten the artwork. No, not. What the heck? Let's turn out the things up first. Not that. 1, 2, 3. Then template guides. Then I'm going to flatten. Makes more sense, Andrew. And now I've got a little black line going around it now. Then I'm going to get that, group it together, make sure there's no things. Yep. Copy. I'm going to put a new layer there. I'm just going to get a white box again, just put it around, just to hide those lines. That's got a black box around. It doesn't matter because that's past the bleed line. Just make sure. So now I've done that, I just want to make sure that these spine things fall directly in place. That's about alright. Flatten the artwork. Save as. Finals. Outer. Okay, with 20 years experience of being a designer. Look at how this works out. Being sarcastic now. Right then. New templates. Finals. Tray card. Outer. Booyah. I can say confident now. Yes, of course. For 20 years design, 20 years experience of being a designer. Of course. First star. Was it like Batman from the Lego movie? First star. As you can see, I have desquirrelized it, if that's even a real word. It was indeed the fact that for some reason on this particular file, it wasn't rendering the compressed PSD file properly with all the overlaid vectors. Something I'll keep in mind for future designs. So yeah, that's been desquirrelized. Brand new word. I said to my wife the other day, I really got her. I said to her, I said, what? I was pretending to read something on my phone. I said, what? I don't believe that. Apparently the word gullible is not in the dictionary. And she went, what? I laughed my head off right. It took her like a few seconds to get it, what she actually did. And my daughter's like, you don't get it. Anyway. So the print file's in there. I should say, dear printers, make sure no squares print out on my designs, or I'll headbutt. Well, not really, but metaphorically. Okay, so I'll get these files, and I'm gonna compress it. Another print files, 8.2 megabytes. Then I'll email this to my brother, and hopefully that is the end of the story. And I'll get no emails from the printer saying your files aren't printing properly. What kind of amateur are you? So thanks for watching this very long-winded video, and subscribe if you don't already. More amateurish stuff coming in the future, hopefully with some tips and hints along the way. Stop and save recording, man.